Well, we're back here in Laxey on the promenade, the scene of this landfall, and we'll start with rerunning the pictures actually, because I was here last week when we had this extra bit that just came down. A week on, we come back to find even more movement has gone on, and it's quite a situation. With me, we've got Melanie from the Commissioners, and obviously Andrew, who's the MHK, one of the MHKs to the area. We're now at bedrock though, aren't we now? Things won't go any worse, do you think? I mean, I know we're not in a position to know exactly what's going on, but do you think that the worst is behind us?
Obviously, I'm not a geologist or a structural engineer, but to me, obviously, I don't think it's going to get better, and the concern is obviously with wet weather being forecast, water has to go somewhere, and the more water that goes down the banking, I'm guessing it's going to create more issues along the way.
Andrew, we were in here, how long ago since you were in that digger starting to demolish the old building?
That's over a year ago now, I think it was February. I'm just checking up on that, but February time. But obviously the site was left safe with the retaining wall from the old property in place.
So there was a retaining wall, was there?
There was a small retaining wall at the back of the property, and that was left specifically for the foot of the to protect the foot of the cliff. And the site has been laying like that since February, so over a good year, and there was no sign of any landslip previously to these current works. But I think you'll see, Paul, from the slate rock bed there, and the angle of it, which is about 40 degrees from the earth above there is just that's just sitting there. That's going
to come down, isn't it?
There's nothing holding it. Far be it from me to
well, let's assume it's in a bad weather situation.
Future, but whether you get wet weather or very dry weather, it'll either get dried out and run and just disintegrate, or it'll be washed out with the rain. I think it's a
This is a mess, to say the least. I mean, many people saw the potential of this happening, didn't they, really?
There has been over the years a history of landslides in this area.
But nothing like this.
But not to this extent, no.
What happens now? I mean, you had your meeting, didn't you, for the concerned residents? Obviously, two particularly concerned residents up there.
Well, obviously 2 properties have now been evacuated and all the services switched off, and obviously it doesn't look like it's getting any better anytime soon. So the Commissioners called an extraordinary meeting on Wednesday where we did have a number of residents. It was quite a good turnout. Both our MHKs were present as well, and really the worry is at this stage is, how can we make it stable and try and stop the situation getting any worse?
What can you do?
Well, we have written to DEFA and we have written to the DOI to ask what we can do in the interim, really. I think the Chief Minister was down here on site yesterday.
He'd been away and he just called on his way past.
So he is obviously aware. So we obviously are now just sort of trying to see what we can put in place in the interim to try and protect the bank from any further damage.
I think anyone will accept it. It's a challenging project. I mean, how can you stabilise the tons of earth and spoil that's there? How can you possibly stabilise what you don't even know? You don't even know how far it slipped away. You've no idea. There's fissures and all things underneath that vegetation. Just don't know. And I understand from, and the Commissioners have always been alerted to this, that I understand from the property owner here that a crack has appeared in the extension.
Right. Well, he told me that he woke up that morning about 5 when there's another one.
There's a crack.
Yesterday?
Yesterday there's a crack that's appeared in the extension. So I would, again, not being a professional in this area, but I would respectfully suggest that a crack wouldn't appear in a property unless there'd been movement.
Sure. That just makes it all different. I know the road, though, the DOI, I've had a look at the road, haven't they? That's on bedrock, isn't it, as well? That's
well,
be right,
they say that, but in fairness, the Commissioner have expressed deep concerns to the highways. I've already I was putting another question down. Daphne's got 2 questions in for Keys. I was actually aiming a question specifically at the road works, and so that'll all come up on Tuesday. But I'm concerned because that property is built into the highway.
Oh, right.
So it's below the road level. Yes. So therefore the walls of the property are actually connected to, physically connected to the highway. So I would suggest, again, only from my humble opinion, that if there is, it's got to fall towards the sea, huh? It's not going to fall up. It can't fall uphill. It's got to fall downhill. Sure. So what will it pull with it as it comes?
If that road was shut, that'd be a major concern, right?
It would, because obviously it's one of the main link roads in and out of Laxey and for the north of the island as well, and obviously the concern for the property owners on the hill as well. Absolutely.
Well, we'll just have to. I mean, at the minute we're just in sort of
we're in a waiting
game.
It is.
I mean, as you say, more rain or dries out will definitely probably bring out more of that bank, and the view clearly here upwards is that garden is just all soil, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
what we understand, yeah.